Alright, so the deck I'm going to play this week is a Thrun the Last Troll deck. One of my YouTube viewers suggested that I try it out and base it on Josh Fluente's deck list. It's somebody who plays dual magic, like the French commander. So the formats are a little bit different. His deck had Rufflos in it. I put Priest of Titania. I know it's not the same, but there's nothing like Raphalos in this format. So Priest of Titania, I figured it would be close enough. You're looking to gain mana. So this is one of his most recent lists from January. So he actually won first place of an event with it. And so it might be missing some cards from the newer set. But it still seems like a pretty good deck. It's kind of a, get Thrun into play. You got a bunch of fight mechanic cards. And then, some equipment, some pump spells, and some enchantments. Just a whole bunch of things to make Thrun better. And hopefully do 21 damage with Thrun. There's a few other creatures that you can put it on. And some other, incremental advantages and value cards and those kind of thing. So, gonna give it a try and see how it does. Alright, we got a match. We're on the draw. Hand seems great. Playing against Azzurri. So I did a few rounds of testing, and what I found is against like other green decks, they usually go over the top of this deck fairly easily. I don't have much that can get rid of Azzurri. I really want to get this Jit going. So I'm going to go for a heavy mana elf strategy. Yeah, I didn't think he'd have mutagenic growth. Oh wow, that is a crazy ability with Azzurri. We need to kill that thing. Oh shoot. Well, we can deal with that. I've yet to see that card in this format. Yes. Alright. I don't think that does what you think it does. Alright, we'll see what happens next turn. Oh! And we win the match. Alright, so he realizes that I can... So, Jit was the primary driver there. I think if I hadn't had that Jit in play, and I hadn't gone full to the wall, Azzurri would have ran over me pretty quickly. And we are on the play this time. Seems pretty keepable. Playing against Omnath. So, don't know how that's going to go. Omnath's a slower deck, but he can ramp pretty hard. Let's just swing for one and say go. go straight for Thrun. Reclamation Sage will be pretty good if he's playing one of the enchantments that, like that. Oh, that's interesting. A bit of ways from casting that, but I actually got a decent chance of casting that sometime fairly soon. You know what? Let's leave that guy back in case we need to regenerate Thrun. You ready to pick the target? Yes, please. I don't know what he could... I mean, it's not like most of the red all-mana spells. So we need 6 mana. This is an instant. Let's just say go. So we do 10 damage next turn? That kills him, doesn't it? No, not if he blocks. Kind of wasted my trample spell. He might not know he needs to block. Maybe I should have Siroc'd. No. Alright, and that's what this deck can do. It's pretty outstanding. Got another match against the same guy. It's going to happen sometimes. We're just in the tournament practice room, and sometimes you want to see if it's just a fluke or if the deck's actually really good against... I doubt he'll make the mistake of not blocking again. Might Oaks is a really good card. Two mana Cultivate's pretty good. Sylvan Library, not so great for us. So he's got a really good draw here. Okay. Got a decent amount of gas though. This actually does 11 and then this does 10. Alright. Looks like he's getting Omnath next turn. Can I Might of Oaks and then Berserk? What's that do? Does that kill him? That's nuts. Alright, so we got some good draws, but Omnath's a pretty slow deck, so pretty awesome. We got another one. We're on the draw. And no ramp. I don't know. It looks keepable at least. Dragon Lord Solomir. Wow, everybody's trying out some rogue decks today. I mean, myself included, obviously.
Hi.
Bye, honey. Have a good night.
You too, buddy.
Great Sable Stag is kind of awesome because I'm playing against a blue-black deck. Oh. Oh. Oh, I really wanted that. It's a much slower hand than we've had in the previous games. He can't take control of anything, however. Alright. Worried about that kind of effect. So now I can't play Thrun next turn. So instead we can just kill a land. I guess you can take a Rancor. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't have just a ton of Edict effects. He's down to 2 cards. So that gives him the most amount of mana. Alright, you killed it. Which sucks because I can't use it to prey upon. Not sure what the delay is here. Alright. Strange card. It's card disadvantage unless you're really looking to abuse the untap effect. I mean, it's still card disadvantage, but I should have thought about that. What's in my deck? Hydra, Beast, Elf, Human. Let's say Elf. Come on, Magic. Okay. Sure wish I had that Rancor back. Alright. I can swing, regen, fight, regen. So I'm going to try that. Omnaths. Ooh, man, I wish I had still had that fight. And I guess he can take control of this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I can give it hexproof. It's a pretty fast clock here. All right. All right. I don't want to have to worry about him taking control of it. I'm going to have a hard time beating Dragonlord here. And Arcanus. Which sucks, because this is kind of the deck you're supposed to be able to beat. I just haven't drawn any creature enchantments that let me get through. There's still some draws that... Strange playing Thoughtseize. Oh, come on. It's down to 10. drawing 4 cards a turn, though. Super hard to beat that. Guess he wanted to keep Arcanus, the 4 mana ability, open. But that seems really greedy. Like, you got your 4 cards. Or your 3 cards. Like, why? What do you got here? Gear Hulk. Alright. Considerably behind here. Have not drawn anything that lets me push through. I mean, I drew the Rancor, but he took that from me. I also drew the Great Stable Stag, and he took that from me. Alright. I think I'm dead here. We'll just move on. No sense torturing through this. Playing against Keranos. We'll keep. We're on the draw. That was a really good draw. Should probably get a foil Treetop Village. It was printed in M10. There should be foil versions. I just wasn't paying attention when I put the deck together. Otherwise, might have looked it up and seen if I could find one. This giant Gruth is pretty cool. Oh, I think that's even better than playing my commander. Now he can't counter anything because it's always green mana. And without mana rocks, he can't play Keranos. Alright, we win. That plus the uncounterable, untargetable, like they want to counter and take control and destroy things, and Thrun is already really hard for Keranos to deal with. But that plus all the gemstones, I don't blame him at all for throwing in the towel after that. Another game. I'm on the play. Oh, seems like a good hand. Especially with this Hall of Gemstones. I'd like to see like a mana elf, but it's going to be a turn late no matter what, so I guess I'd like to not see a mana elf. This Hall of Gemstone is outstanding. It's just such a great disruptive spell. Ooh, and I played the wrong thing. Oh, I hate it when I misclick. Did not mean to do that. I just let him... Oh, that was a big mistake. Like, the Selvala does nothing for me this next turn. I wish I hadn't gone down like that. I don't have enough mana to play Thrun and then activate Selvala. He may have a way around Hall of Gemstone, but he's still got a Timna in play while he's looking for it. I could have stopped that, or at least slowed it down quite a bit. Funny, world enchantments, you don't see those anymore. Does he have a way to deal with it? Oh, Tarmogoyf. It's a tiny little Tarmogoyf. One thing I'd like to see in this deck is some graveyard disruption. Although the idea is kind of like you're just... you're trying to beat them to the punch anyways. So you're hoping to race graveyard strategies and that kind of stuff. Usually they're fairly slow. Obviously green. Not quite enough. Do we just go for the killing the Smugglers Compter? Probably. It's a pretty big deal right now. And having a 2/2 Death Touch blocker is also a pretty big deal. Would have liked to have drawn a card, but... I probably do block Tarmogoyf with... I don't think I want to block it with Selvala. Generates a ton of mana. Chose black this turn. So he's got removal. Inquisition. He takes my hunters in tight. Alright, yeah, so now I kind of have to block Tarmogoyf. I definitely don't want to give him another card. He's got more black spells? Ah, that sucks. Really wanted to draw a card off with Thrun. More lands. Fabulous. For some reason, too, this deck has 41 lands. Maybe 42 because of Dryad Arbor. It's 42. Seems really high. I'd like to see some permanent creature enchantments or something like that. Instead of like at least 2, maybe 3 of those lands. Maybe there's a call for... He can't shamble. Oh, that sucks. Alright. Just seems like it's really heavy on lands. I've had a lot of land heavy draws. I just have to wonder how this would have gone if I hadn't let Tymna resolve. He's drawn a lot of cards because of it. Stupid Urborg. Yeah, he said, man, that card slows down the game. I think it's broken, and you can actually still... I don't know if it's broken or not. If it's supposed to be that way. But I think you can activate for black with Urborg in play. I don't know which way it works with the rules. I maybe shouldn't have attacked him. I forgot that he draws cards when I attack. Or when he attacks me. Tymna's really good. Alright. Sort of feast and famine is going to be a big problem here. I'm fairly... Fire and ice. Interesting. Strange choice. Guess he just wants to draw cards. What does that do for me? Just a big body, or do I attack with it? Kind of, no. Let's block. Wonder if he has like Feast and Famine already in his hand or something. Or maybe he doesn't have it in his deck, but it seems like he would have it in his deck. Alright. I don't see that guy getting through. Alright. That sucks. The non-hexproof creatures really just eat up all the removal. That actually, the mutagenic growth was the only thing that would have done that. Because of the Hall of Gemstones. I actually can't regenerate Thrun on his turn because of the Hall of Gemstones. Even if he hadn't played the Revoker. Just have to feel that it would have gone a lot different if I played the Hall of Gemstones. I will block the Relic Seeker. I think like this is a pretty bad matchup anyways. Like if I hadn't drawn the Hall of Gemstones, where would I be? I'd be basically completely dead by now. Oh geez, Pack Rat? That seems really good. I'm super dead. If my only play next turn is playing Thrun, super dead. Nothing I can do about that. So yeah, he was just all over me, even with the Hall of Gemstones. Even if I had played it a turn sooner, I don't think it would have mattered.